Imagine this, you want to lose weight, you're tired of complicated diets, you've tried fasting, you've cut carbs, but nothing seems to work the way you hope. Here's the truth most people miss. Sometimes the simplest habits are the most powerful. Running is one of those. It doesn't require a gym membership, fancy equipment, or a complicated plan. Just your body, your shoes, and a little bit of consistency. But here's where it gets really exciting. Running doesn't just burn calories while you're moving. It changes your metabolism for hours afterward. Think of it as flipping on a fat-burning switch inside your body. And if you're strategic about how you run, you can tap into deeper fat stores, stabilize your blood sugar, and train your body to stay lean long-term. Today, I want to break down exactly why running works so well for weight loss, how you can start even if you're a beginner, and the science behind making this a lifestyle tool that keeps your energy high, your mood better, and your weight in check without overcomplicating the process. When we think about metabolism, most people picture it as this fixed number, like a speed setting that you're either blessed with or stuck with. But metabolism is not static, it's dynamic. And the way you move your body can completely reset how it functions. Running is one of the most powerful tools for this because it directly communicates with your hormones. And hormones are the master switches that determine how you burn energy, store fat, and even how hungry you feel throughout the day. Take insulin, for example. Insulin's job is to help shuttle glucose, or sugar, out of your bloodstream and into your cells. When insulin levels are too high, the body gets stuck in fat storage mode, and it becomes nearly impossible to burn fat efficiently. Running changes this equation. Every time you run, your muscles act like sponges, soaking up glucose for energy without needing as much insulin to open the door. The more you run, the more sensitive your cells become to insulin. That means your body can handle sugar better, stabilize blood sugar more quickly, and stay out of that constant fat storage state. This is why people who run consistently often notice their cravings for sweets and snacks naturally start to decrease. Their blood sugar isn't swinging up and down all day. Running also interacts with your stress hormones, but in a very unique way. Cortisol, the stress hormone, gets a bad reputation because chronically high levels can lead to belly fat storage and energy crashes. But here's the nuance: during a run, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline in short bursts, which mobilize fat and sugar into your bloodstream to be used as fuel. Instead of being damaging, this process actually teaches your body how to use stress hormones in a productive way. You're showing your system that stress isn't always destructive, it can be harnessed. And right alongside cortisol and adrenaline, you also get a surge of endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that create the famous runner's high. This cocktail not only improves your mood, but also shifts how your body perceives stress throughout the day. Suddenly, the things that used to spike your stress levels feel more manageable because your body has practiced stress in a controlled, beneficial way. Now let's talk about the hormones that drive your hunger: leptin and ghrelin. Leptin signals fullness to your brain, while ghrelin signals hunger. When these are out of balance, you feel hungry even when your body doesn't actually need energy, and that's where overeating begins. Running brings them back into harmony. Consistent running has been shown to increase leptin sensitivity, meaning your brain actually hears the signal that you've had enough food. At the same time, ghrelin levels stabilize so that hunger comes at the right times, not all the time. This is why many people notice that when they start running regularly, food choices become easier. It's not that they're forcing themselves to eat better, it's that their hormones are finally aligned with what their body actually needs. There's another layer that often gets overlooked, and that's the mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside every cell. The number and efficiency of your mitochondria determine how well you can turn food into energy instead of storing it as fat. Running stimulates your body to create more mitochondria and make them stronger. With more of these energy factories at work, your metabolism gets a complete upgrade. You're no longer sluggishly processing calories, you're rapidly converting them into usable energy. This is one of the reasons runners often talk about having more stamina, not just for workouts, but for daily life. They've literally trained their cells to operate at a higher level. What's beautiful about this is how practical it becomes. Running isn't only about the calories you burn in a workout, it's about how it changes the signals inside your body so that you naturally want to eat differently, you manage stress more effectively, and your energy system becomes more efficient. The person who used to crave chips late at night might find themselves reaching for water or protein without even thinking about it. The afternoon slump that used to trigger a caffeine fix may not even show up anymore because blood sugar is stable. All of this is the result of running reshaping the hormonal conversation happening inside you. It's easy to see why running is often described as a reset button. Every step you take sends a signal that teaches your hormones how to work together instead of against you. Insulin becomes sharper, stress hormones become more balanced, hunger hormones start cooperating, and your cells transform into fat-burning, energy-producing machines. Over time, it's not just your metabolism that improves, it's your entire relationship with food, energy, and even stress. That's the kind of reset no pill or quick fix can ever match. because it's your body learning how to heal and regulate itself the way it was designed to. One of the biggest misconceptions about running is that you need to start by pushing yourself to exhaustion, running long distances right away, or keeping up with seasoned runners. That's exactly what leads so many beginners to quit before they even give themselves a real chance. Running doesn't need to be overwhelming, and in fact, the best way to start is to keep it so simple that it almost feels too easy. 10 minutes a day is all it takes to begin building the foundation. And those 10 minutes don't even need to be a full run. Alternating between walking and jogging is a fantastic way to get started because it gives your body time to adapt without feeling overworked. Think of it as giving your heart, lungs, and muscles little practice sessions, like warming them up to the idea of running without asking too much too soon. The beauty of starting small is that it creates consistency. If you know you only need to commit to 10 minutes, it's much easier to fit it into your day, and much easier to show up tomorrow and the next day. Pair it with something you already love, like listening to your favorite music or podcast, and suddenly those 10 minutes become something you look forward to rather than something you dread. This is called habit stacking, linking a new habit with an existing enjoyable one so it becomes ingrained in your routine. Before you know it, running feels less like a chore and more like a natural part of your day. The real trap for beginners is trying to do too much too fast. It's tempting to think that pushing harder will lead to faster weight loss or quicker results, but the body doesn't work that way. Running too far, too fast, or too often in the beginning can lead to burnout, injury, or frustration. The key is to focus on progress, not perfection. If today you run for 1 minute and walk for 4, that's success. If next week you're running for 2 minutes and walking for 3, that's growth. Every small improvement adds up, and it's this gradual progression that not only builds endurance, but also protects your joints, muscles, and energy levels. Recovery is another piece people often forget. Running is a form of stress on the body, and your muscles, tendons, and bones need time to adapt. Rest days, stretching, and even simple practices like walking or light yoga on off days are part of the process. Recovery doesn't mean you're being lazy. It's when your body actually gets stronger. Skipping recovery often leads to soreness, fatigue, and even injuries that can set you back weeks. By respecting recovery, you're setting yourself up for long-term success instead of short bursts of effort followed by quitting. As you build this routine, something shifts. Running stops being about trying to hit a certain distance or match someone else's pace. It becomes about how you feel. The sense of freedom in moving your body outside, the mental clarity that comes from fresh air, and the stress relief of simply putting one foot in front of the other start to outweigh the calorie burn or the number on a fitness app. And yet, even when you're not thinking about weight loss, your body is quietly adapting, burning more calories, strengthening muscles, regulating hormones, all because you showed up for those simple minutes every day. The truth is, running isn't about competition unless you want it to be. It doesn't matter if you're the slowest jogger in the park or if you can't make it through a full mile yet. What matters is that you're moving, and each time you do, your body learns a little more endurance, a little more efficiency, and a little more resilience. Over time, those 10 minutes become 15, then 20, and maybe one day you'll find yourself running a distance you never thought possible. Not because you forced it, but because you allowed your body to grow into it naturally. That's the secret to running without burnout. Keep it simple, keep it consistent, and keep it enjoyable. Small, steady steps are far more powerful than an all-out sprint that ends in exhaustion. Running should feel like an ally, not an enemy, and when approached this way, it becomes one of the most sustainable, enjoyable tools for staying lean, relieving stress, and building lifelong health. It's not about being the fastest or the strongest. It's about creating momentum that keeps carrying you forward day after day until running feels less like something you're trying to do and more like something you can't imagine living withou. When people think of running for weight loss, they often imagine one style, putting on shoes and jogging at the same pace for as long as possible. While that can absolutely be effective, the body thrives on variety. And mixing different types of running not only keeps it exciting, but also maximizes fat loss. There are 3 main styles worth understanding: steady, state running, interval running, and sprinting. Each one works differently, and together, they create a powerful approach to burning calories, boosting metabolism, and staying lean. Steady state running is what most people picture when they think of running. It's a consistent pace, usually at a moderate intensity where you feel like you could carry on a conversation but are still working hard. This style is incredible for building endurance and teaching your body how to tap into fat as a fuel source. When you run steadily, your body relies more on oxygen to produce energy, which encourages fat oxidation. Over time, your cardiovascular system adapts, making it easier to go longer distances with less effort. Think of steady state as keeping your metabolism running smoothly like a car cruising down the highway. It's efficient, steady, and sustainable. Then there's interval running, which is like hitting the gas and the brake in cycles. You alternate between bursts of higher intensity and periods of recovery. For example, you might run hard for 30 seconds, then walk or jog slowly for a minute and repeat this pattern for 15 to 20 minutes. Intervals are powerful because they rev your metabolism engine into high gear. During those high-intensity bursts, your body demands a huge surge of oxygen and energy, and when you slow down, it's still working hard to recover. This on-off pattern boosts your calorie burn not only during the workout, but also for hours afterward thanks to the afterburn effect. It's like revving your car engine at high speed, forcing it to work harder and burn more fuel, even when you ease off the pedal. Sprinting takes this concept to the extreme. Sprinting is short, all-out efforts where you push yourself to maximum intensity for a brief period, say 10 to 20 seconds, followed by longer rest periods. Because sprints recruit so many muscle fibers at once, they create massive calorie demand and activate more of your fast twitch muscles, which are great for power and strength. Sprinting also produces the strongest afterburn effect because the body takes much longer to recover from this kind of intensity. You've essentially shocked your system, and it spends hours replenishing energy, repairing muscle, and restoring balance. That recovery period is when fat burning skyrockets. Sprinting is like taking your car from 0 to top speed in seconds. The power output is massive, and the fuel demand is huge. The real magic happens when you mix these styles together. If you only run steady, your body eventually adapts, and the calorie burn becomes less dramatic over time because it's no longer a challenge. If you only sprint, you risk overtraining or burnout because of how taxing it is on the muscles and nervous system. Intervals are amazing, but even they can lose effectiveness if you repeat the same pattern endlessly. By blending all three, you keep your body guessing, preventing plateaus, and continually forcing adaptation. The variety also makes running more fun and less monotonous, which is key for long-term consistency. A simple weekly structure could look like this. 1 day of steady state running where you go at a moderate pace for 20 to 30 minutes. 1 day of intervals where you alternate faster and slower segments for about 15 to 20 minutes. And 1 day of sprinting with short bursts of maximum effort followed by plenty of rest. The rest of the week can be active recovery, walking, yoga, or light strength training to support your joints and muscles. This balance gives your body the endurance benefits of steady running, the metabolism boosting power of intervals, and the fat shredding intensity of sprints. What makes this approach so effective is that it respects both the science of metabolism and the reality of motivation. Steady runs teach your body to burn fat more efficiently, intervals light the fire under your metabolism, and sprints push your body to its highest gear, creating lasting adaptations. Each style complements the other, ensuring you're not just burning calories, but actually reshaping how your body processes energy. And because it's varied, it keeps running from feeling stale, which is often the biggest barrier for beginners. Running doesn't have to mean doing the same loop at the same pace every time. By mixing steady state intervals and sprints, you're essentially giving your body a full metabolic workout plan. It's efficient, effective, and surprisingly simple. All it takes is being willing to shift gears, sometimes cruising, sometimes revving, sometimes going full throttle. That balance not only accelerates fat loss, but also builds a more resilient, energized, and adaptable body that continues to burn calories long after the run is over. For many people, running starts as a way to burn calories and lose weight, but the longer you stick with it, the more you realize it can become so much more than that. Running has the power to shift from being just a tool to shed pounds into a lifestyle that helps you stay lean, strong, and balanced year after year. It's not about chasing quick results. It's about building a rhythm that supports your body and your mind in ways that go far beyond the scale. One of the first things people notice when they run consistently is how it strengthens their mental resilience. Every run teaches you to push through discomfort, to keep going when you feel like stopping, and to celebrate progress even if it's small. These lessons bleed into the rest of life. You start showing up differently at work, in relationships, and in the face of stress. That mindset of perseverance is part of why running helps people not only get lean, but also stay lean. It rewires your relationship with discipline, and discipline is what sustains results long term. Running also has a profound impact on sleep. When you challenge your body physically, you naturally set the stage for deeper, more restorative rest at night. Better sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It regulates hormones like cortisol, ghrelin, and leptin, which directly affect fat storage and appetite. People who run often find they sleep more soundly, wake up with more energy, and naturally reduce late night snacking, which is one of the biggest culprits behind unwanted weight gain. In this way, running doesn't just burn calories, it creates a cascade of healthy habits that make staying lean almost effortless. Stress eating is another area where running makes a difference. Instead of turning to food when emotions run high, a run becomes the outlet. The release of endorphins and the rhythm of movement provide a healthier, more empowering way to cope with life's pressures. Many runners describe it as therapy on the move. By the time they're done, the urge to eat out of stress is gone, replaced with clarity and calm. Over time, this shift alone can make maintaining a lean body much easier because food is no longer used as a crutch for emotions. There's also a social side to running that often gets overlooked. Joining a running group, signing up for local events, or even just having a friend to run with can create accountability and community. Being surrounded by others with similar goals keeps motivation high and makes the experience fun. Instead of running being an isolated activity, it becomes a shared lifestyle, and that sense of belonging is powerful fuel for consistency. When running is tied to community, you're much more likely to keep showing up, which is exactly what supports long-term leanness. It's important to remember that lean bodies are not built in a single workout or even a single month. They're built through consistency, showing up again and again, even when progress feels slow. That's why small goals matter. Maybe it's running for 10 minutes without stopping. Maybe it's completing your first 50K, or maybe it's simply getting out 3 times a week, no matter the pace. Tracking progress and celebrating milestones keeps motivation alive. When you see how far you've come, it becomes easier to keep moving forward. Another key shift is seeing running as self-care rather than punishment. Too often, exercise gets tied to guilt, burning off what you ate or pushing harder to make up for something. But when you view running as a gift to your body, a way to clear your head, boost your mood, and energize your day, it becomes something you look forward to. That positive association makes it sustainable. Instead of forcing yourself to run, you start craving the way it makes you feel. What really matters is momentum, not perfection. Some days your run will feel amazing, other days it might feel like a struggle, but showing up is what counts. Over time, your body adapts. It learns efficiency, it learns endurance, and it learns how to stay lean without you obsessing over every calorie. Running becomes woven into who you are, a natural part of your routine that keeps you balanced. The weight loss that might have started your journey turns into a side effect of a bigger lifestyle shift, one that brings resilience, better sleep, stress relief, and joy. That's the beauty of running as a lifestyle. It teaches your body and mind to keep moving forward. And in that forward motion, leanness takes care of itself.